Alright, so I'm back for part two. So this came out +1, and when you craft things, there's a chance that they can come out +1, +2, +3, and the higher plus they are, the better they're going to be. So you could actually get some pretty nice stuff and make a lot of money if you get lucky, which is nice. One of the things I'm going to show you guys is the tactical battle system, which is pretty cool, and there's actually missions you can do too. So I brought you to this myself to this place so we could do this. So all you have to do is find one of these, and you can set it for a group of 4, or you can do it by yourself. We're just by ourselves, so but you can actually set it to a group of 4 and get in a raid group and do it by yourself, and that would actually be the best way to make money. But we're just going to go into it by ourselves for now, just to show you guys how it works, and you get to pick who you want to go with you. And I forgot that I have my mercenaries set like this, so we're just going to pick out what we can, and we're going to enter battle. And there's like objects to complete and stuff, and it's kind of like Final Fantasy Tactics where you have to move around on like a grid, but it's a lot different than the regular combat, and this was added in one of the updates to the game. This is actually pretty cool, and one of the things about this is you get a pretty nice reward, and it's usually worth a lot of money. So this is actually a really nice way to make money, and every week you can do this a bunch of times. If I go to diary right here, these are some of the things you can do daily to get bonus experience, quests, participating in competition. See how it says 1 out of 2 because we went to that before. Sharing info, fishing, and I'll show you some of that stuff because I haven't showed you guys how to share info or anything yet. But those things are actually going to give you more TBS points, which you're going to be able to use to do these fights actually. So you're going to want to do those every day just so that you can do this more times a week. And it's going to cost points, some of your points, to participate in this. And this is actually quite a bit more difficult in my opinion than the regular combat, but it's quite rewarding, so it's definitely worth doing. Alright, so basically I'm going to show you some of the other stuff now because there isn't enough time to go through this. This really will take 20 minutes, half an hour to go through this. I mean, there's nice rewards and stuff, so just remember that it is worth getting the points and doing this every week. One thing I wanted to show you guys was how the jackpot challenge in the game works. And this is a way basically to save you some inventory space and to give you something for crafting. So when you fight battles, all the stuff that drops is going to go straight to your jackpot challenge inventory and not to your regular inventory. And if you choose one of these things, I know there isn't much in it right now for me, it'll sacrifice all of one of them so that you can have more of the other. And you can check the rates here also, which is the marketplace values. So all you have to do is choose one of these and hit jackpot challenge, and this is going to save you a lot of inventory space and stuff, and it'll get you more for crafting if that's something you need. So we've got 3 plus I got 12 more. I mean, there's some luck involved in how many you're going to actually get, but it's worth doing, and it'll save you inventory space, because if you just accept everything, it's really going to fill up your inventory quick. It might seem like there's a lot of spots in your inventory, but it really can fill up quickly. What I want to show you guys now is I want to show you the housing. And I don't actually have a house. House is pretty expensive, and I always end up spending money on like gear or something, or saving up for some really expensive mercenaries that I not strong enough to do the quest chain for. So you can just go to a person on your friends list house. So I'm just going to go to someone's house. All you have to do is open up a thing with them and go to visit. Alright, that person doesn't own a home. Alright, let me go to this person. I know they have a home. Alright, so all you have to do is visit, and you can see a pretty nice house. And there's actually a lot of usefulnesses of the house. You can have people over for meals, and you can get special buffs. So those buffs are useful because some things are really tough in the game, and you're going to need an extra, attack power boost or something like that. You can actually store some of your mercenaries here too. And that's going to save you a lot of money because to buy a license to store a mercenary another way is really expensive. So this is a nice thing about that. And you can customize the house, and all houses don't look like this. There's different kinds of houses. And there's also some little crafts that you can do here too. But nothing super important. I mean, a house is pretty expensive in the game, but it's definitely something you'll be able to afford if you really want a house. And it has some nice uses out of it, so it's worth doing. Plus, the houses look pretty nice, too. One of the last cool things I want to talk about, guys, is info in this game. And this is something that I haven't seen in any other game so far. And you can share monster info with someone, which is pretty interesting. And here's a look at all the monster infos I have. And there's different types of monster info. There's just basic info, location info, item info, and origin info. And if someone shares basic info with you, it is going to increase your attack and defense 10% against those monsters. So it's going to be pretty helpful, especially sharing boss info, because there's info on every monster in the game. And if you have location info, it'll show right here exactly where you can find those monsters. So if you need to go find those for some reason, want to go fight those, that'll help. And item info, which is really useful, is going to make it so they actually drop more stuff when you fight them. So that's good. And origin info, the last one, is going to give you bonus experience when you fight them. And some people like to share like as much info as possible. It kind of gets, fun to see how much info you can possibly get. And I actually have I have 63% of all the monster info in the game, which is kind of a lot. But some people have like 95%. This is pretty interesting, and something I haven't seen in any games. And I don't know, it's just one of those things that I wanted to point out to you guys. One of the last things I wanted to mention, which at least I think is pretty cool, is you can actually do some gambling in the game. There's arenas that happen. And it's not like an arena like you'd think of, but there's NPC battles is what's going on, and you can bet on which ones you think are going to win. You can see what their team is. They're going to have random generated teams, and you can make bets, and the odds are going to be based on people's bets. So sometimes someone makes a ridiculously huge bet, and you have really good odds to make some good money if someone else wins. I don't know. I don't really have any suggestions on how to go about placing your bets, because I could say that I've lost a lot of money actually doing it. But it's pretty fun. You can watch the battles. It's just another thing to do in the game. And this game has lots of little things. I mean, there's interesting ways to enchant your gear and stuff like that in this game. There's lots of little things in the game. There actually is an auction house in this game, not a marketplace, where some people use. I mean, there's lots of tiny things, but I can't really cover everything. I just wanted to say that this is, a pretty unique game. The combat is interesting, and there's a lot of cool features. And one thing about these Asian games, I notice a lot of people don't like to play them because they say they're too grindy, and the level cap is usually ridiculous. And the level cap is high; it's 150 in this game. But one thing about these games is that you don't have to be max level like you do in a game like World of Warcraft to experience all the content. You can actually enjoy the game at a moderate level and experience pretty much all the content while you're still gaining levels, which is one of the cool things. So I wouldn't just say no to all games just because they have a super high level cap of like 200. They might actually be worth playing. But I pretty much said all I can about this game for now. I think I'll probably make a guide on maybe money making in this game, because a lot of people say that it's hard to compete with people who use the item wall, and I think that you can actually make enough money to be competitive, and I think I'm going to make a guide on that. But anyways, guys, remember to subscribe to my channel and to check out PopularMMOs.com. See ya.